Josh here with the Manster, and Dan from Boom Tube Comics here in Southington, Connecticut, 1475 Meriden Waterbury Turnpike. I just love saying that. And we're going to talk about some books that have been coming out. And, we're going to look at all the books here. Look, we're going to show you the entire breadth of books.
So I can finally get to eat.
So, Lloyd's getting a little hangry here. You got to feed these muscles. Beef castles don't run on just pure energy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go right off on the new release table here right off the bat.
Don't you even protein, bro?
Yeah.
Silver Surfer Black, right?
Okay.
I'm not a Silver Surfer fan myself. I don't think I've really ever read much Silver Surfer stuff. Are you a Silver Surfer fan?
Not a big Silver Surfer fan.
No. Lloyd, no?
No, a little bit.
But
not much.
I picked one up the other day here because I'd been reading a lot on Twitter. It's written by Donny Cates, who is doing Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think he's the guy that created all Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Well, I don't know if he created it, but he wrote.
He wrote the series.
Yeah.
And this has got some pretty trippy Tradmore art. Take a look at this stuff here. So basically, the idea behind issue 1, and I guess what I didn't realize was this rolls right from, I guess, the Guardians of the Galaxy series. I guess Thanos has died in the books, and the Black Order, Thanos' gang there, take Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill, and several other of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think the Abomination is in there. I could be wrong, but it looked like him, and throws them through a black hole. So this whole issue, and it's a 5-part miniseries, is basically the Silver Surfer trying to look
it's very cool art. Yeah.
It's very cool art. Look at that.
Nice crotch shot.
Yeah, that's
great.
Right from
that's
underneath.
a great crotch shot. You got your Beta Ray Bill right there. But what it is, it's him traversing through a black hole. And I won't get too far into what happens in the end, but it kind of moves into he makes contact in the black hole. That sounded gross. And on to issue 2. I picked up the first issue. I will be picking up issue 2. It got me into it enough. So I'm going to start right here with here at Boom Tube. It's all very nice and orderly. We got the DC stuff, right? Detective Comics 1000. We've got all 76 of the covers. There's some really cool ones here. I mean, this book has been out for a little while, but Jim Lee, right? Let's see, Bruce Timm.
Cho.
That's Steranko.
Yep.
That's Bernie Wrightson.
This is Bernie Wrightson.
Yep.
Greg Capullo.
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller is
No,
Frank
that's
Miller.
Jock.
That's Jock.
Tim
This
Tim
is
Sale.
Tim Sale. That's Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Duh. And this is I'm not sure. Who
That's
this
Bruce
is.
Timm.
That's Bruce Timm. Oh, I'm sorry. This one here.
Frank Cho.
Michael Cho.
Michael Cho.
Michael Cho. And did we leave this one out? Steve Rude.
Yeah.
Right? This is the one I picked, by the way. When these
Rude.
books came out, I grabbed the Steranko. That's just a badass cover.
I got 2 of these.
You got 2 of them?
Yeah, I got Bernie Wrightson and Frank Miller.
Frank Miller. Dan, did you grab one of each?
Of course, but that's my favorite.
That's
Bruce
your favorite?
Timm, yeah, without doubt.
Yeah. Bruce Timm is awesome.
I think that kind of signifies the classic detective,
Yeah. I
Oh,
haven't
look
read
at
it
this
yet.
here, yeah.
I haven't read it yet, but check this out.
That's hot.
Here is Deceased. Is that what they're calling it? Is it Deceased?
Deceased.
Deceased. It's a new series, a 6-part miniseries. Trevor Hairsine art, and it's basically about, I guess, a zombie plague. Technovirus has hit the DC universe. It's creating all these kinds of zombie-ish characters out of the characters we know. There's Batman and Poison Ivy. And do we know what that's from, right? We know what that's from. Dan, do you know what this is from? Do you know what that's from?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
There you go. Yeah, baby. That's awesome. And the first one had a cover that was It.
Yeah.
Right, it had the balloon, I think.
They're doing 3 covers. Yeah. The third one's always a horror cover.
Third one's always a horror cover.
I've been getting the zombie covers. They're pretty awesome.
I was avoiding this title. I have not read it yet, but honestly, tonight when we came in, I picked up the first 2 issues. It just looks like maybe a fun little run there.
Oh, yeah, that's what I got last week.
That's the zombie cover. Looks like a bad day for somebody.
Yeah.
I think the first one was Batman, right?
Yeah, and I think the next one.
Superman zombie would not be good news.
No. Does he retain his powers? That's the question.
Well, do his cells... Yeah, that's a... let's not get into that right now. What book on this wall here right now are you saying is living up to the hype? Even if you're not caught up totally.
I'm not totally caught up, but Freedom Fighters, one of my all-time favorites. Always reading Freedom Fighters. And this is a different take on Freedom Fighters. America lost World War II. Okay. And some of the things that happen right out of the gates are just pretty amazing. All I've got to say is
Uncle Sam?
Another Venditti.
Yeah, Venditti's does a lot of the...
I haven't read this issue yet, but, I mean, it looks like that's kind of a Nazi Superman. So
it doesn't look. Yeah, we got zombie Superman over here.
Yeah,
I can tell you about that.
Yeah, John, I was gonna actually call to you across there. Freedom Fighters, what Earth are they from?
It doesn't.
This one doesn't.
It doesn't exactly say, but it's not
Earth Prime.
right.
Okay.
It's not whatever the DC universe Earth is. It's a different setting, and it doesn't, which is fine. Which is why I'm reading it, because I'm not involved with all the other.
You're reading this one?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
It's okay.
Yeah.
My
That's
biggest
good for John though.
my biggest problem I have with it.
Yeah, I
is
was gonna say that's a glowing review.
It's the lack of a depiction of the Nazis.
Except for this one panel of
Oh, they got it
Superman
in.
with the swastika flag. You know.
How the hell
Emblazoned
did
on
they
his
get that in
chest.
there?
Huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the latest
Yeah.
one?
And then,
yeah,
what, and then,
6.
and then what about when they were like burning the human bomb on the stake?
Well,
Like that was kind of pretty Nazi.
well,
And
no,
they
I mean,
played it
it's
for
just-
7 days in a row on video. On
I just mean the swastika.
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
They've taken out all the swastikas. Just seeing that one in there surprised me, because I must have missed that when I was reading it, because it's strange that they're not allowing them to reproduce it anymore. It's some kind of PC nonsense, but I don't know.
It's a good book, very good book.
I'm not
okay.
reading Justice League. I'm not. Scott Snyder's writing is like this for me. I read the first couple issues, but I do want to point out that's an awesome Jim Chung cover with the that's actually the Justice League cartoon version too, right? You got Jon Stewart and Hawkgirl, but I love Jim Chung. I was a big fan of Scion back in the cross-gen days. Lloyd, you reading any DC? Is there anything that's really getting you going?
Yeah, I'm reading. What we already talked about over there.
Okay. Oh, I want to point out this too.
Deceased.
I'm reading Detective Comics, and I'm enjoying this run. They took the Arkham Knight character from the Arkham Knight video game, and they brought the character into the books, but it is not the same character. They're just using the facade, but there's a different backstory. It's a different person in the mask, and it started at issue 1001. This is the last issue. This isn't indicative of the quality. I fell asleep reading it last night. I got about halfway through, but it's a good 5-issue run. And the art is by, let me see here. I think it's Brad Walker, and it just reminds me of kind of like a very clean, maybe 90s DC style. Oh, look at that! We got Batman: Curse of the White Knight coming out. Sean Murphy.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Right?
Yeah.
Dan, I gotta ask
I
you a
love me
question.
some Sean
Yes.
Murphy.
So on the bottom of your shelf here,
Yes.
you've got the Sandman universe.
Yes.
How are those doing for you?
Fair. I mean, people who are into Neil Gaiman and the Sandman universe or Lucifer, they're picking them up. It's fair. It's not hot flying off the shelves, but people are picking them up.
Which most of the Vertigo books were never very hot. I mean, your highest selling books were lower 20s.
Yeah,
At best.
And
At best.
we're pretty much learning, right? It's over now, right? It's over, Johnny.
What?
Right?
I don't know.
Vertigo's
Those are not
ending?
Vertigo.
Oh, those aren't Vertigo?
No.
Well, it's Vertigo.
the
Yeah, it
Dreaming
says
is-
Vertigo.
Yeah, they're Vertigo.
But
Technically, they're not Vertigo. It's
what-
the Sandman universe.
What was it?
I've been getting
confirmed
this
from
book, but I
DC?
haven't
Because
read it
last
since
I
number
heard,
3.
It was just on Bleeding Cool, so.
Yeah. Any death of Vertigo you've heard is presumptive as of yet.
Look at that.
It's a very cool looking book.
Look at that.
The Dreaming?
Yeah.
The Dreaming is the best of
Yeah.
that group.
I do have to say that I just had somebody pick up a bunch of each this week. So
Yeah.
new customers.
The
and stuff,
Dreaming
so
is the
people are
only
reading.
one for me that has followed the Sandman series and all of the other previous Sandman storylines.
That
The
seemed,
previous
that and
Dreaming
Lucifer
series.
seemed to be the most popular.
Lucifer, I tried reading that. It's a very confusing mess to me, but that's just me.
Let's move down.
Go.
Lloyd? All right, what do we got? So we have some more DC stuff here. We're getting to the end of the alphabet in DC. I want to point this out too. Something Dan does here that a lot of comic book stores don't do is he gets some of the great magazines that I know John's a huge fan of. Retro Fan, right? Retro Fan magazine. This is very cool. Who's the editor that we had?
Michael Urey.
Michael Urey. We had him on the radio show at one point. Look at that. You got an interview with William Catt right there. Okay?
Retro Fan is great if you like anything that's retro. It's awesome. It even does commercials.
Yeah, this is a very cool magazine.
Last issue.
Back issue is
Yeah,
also
there you go.
awesome.
There's back issue.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Also from Tomorrow's.
Tomorrow's is a great company.
Yeah.
Now
I might
this.
even get this one. Fourth World After Kirby.
There you go. Last month in back issue, or maybe it was the month after this, was the Batman '89 special.
Yes.
I picked that up here. It looks like this is the newer issue, or is this the older issue?
I think that's the older issue.
Either way, it's out there. The entire magazine is all articles, all about, because what are we? We're in the 30th anniversary, June 23rd, as a matter of fact. I remember being a kid, and I had Premiere Magazine had the ad in it, and I pulled the ad out and I had it on my wall.
Nice.
And it had the Batman symbol, and at the bottom it said June 23rd. And June 23rd, 1989, me and my friends walked to the Middletown Movie House in Middletown, Connecticut, and saw Batman.
All 60 people in the theater.
And all 60 people in there. And my 14-year-old brain was fried.
Yeah?
And then a month, or maybe weeks later, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came out. And I went to see that in the movies 3 nights in a row.
Wow.
My mind was blown. That movie was so good.
Did they know you by first name at that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my nerddom started early. I'll put this here for right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So, we got some more DC stuff. Silencer is a book that I enjoy. It's part of the Dark Knight's Metal. They did a bunch of them. Silencer, Sideways.
New Age of Heroes.
Yeah, Age of Heroes, Terrifics. I tried Terrifics, didn't dig it. Silencer, or Sideways, was a Spider-Man piece of crap ripoff. Silencer is an enjoyable book. Silencer is a cool book.
And she also showed up on the Arrow.
She
TV
showed up in
show.
Arrow, right?
Yep.
She's a, that's not her, but that's her. She is a former assassin for Leviathan, which is that whole big thing they're doing. Her power is that she can create a cone of silence, basically. She somehow has a power to put a bubble of silence around everybody around her so she could do her dirty work without anybody hearing it. Talia al Ghul is key in the book. And it's a very cool book. It's, I think, the longest lasting of them. I think almost all of them have been canceled. Or what was the one that was like the Hulk ripoff? Damage?
Oh, Damage.
That
He's
disappeared.
done. Curse of Brimstone.
This ends Interdimensional Final Issue at 13. The Terrifics is still going, but I think I heard it was going away. And Silencer, I think, might get a little bit more. But if you're looking for an interesting DC book, that's pretty cool. Okay, Marvel. This is Sir John's section right here.
Yeah.
Marvel.
See ya.
Lloyd, what are you reading?
I've been
Marvel?
reading The Amazing Spider-Man, the Hunted series now
Yes.
with, like I said, Humberto
Ramos,
Yep.
written by Nick Spencer.
Yep.
I have not finished yet, but I'll tell you right now. I hate when Marvel does this, but so they have issue 20, then they have issue 20.hu, right? In this series, they could have just numbered them. In this series, it actually works.
Yes, it does.
Because the HU issues, the idea of the Hunted is that Kraven has come back, and he has a kid now. The kid is now the actual warrior, and he kidnaps him and his kid. Yeah, one of many kids. Yeah, that's a great clone.
The one clone just wipes out everyone else, all the other clones.
He kidnaps every costumed villain or hero that uses a animal theme. So the Rhino takes him. The Vulture takes him. Gibbon takes him. Puts them all in Central Park. Puts a force field over it, and then sells rich people this package to hunt all these animals. Except they do it from the comfort of like a hotel.
Yeah, it's like a virtual reality.
It's virtual reality. He uses robot soldiers. The HU issues are all diving into single stories about the Hunted.
Yeah.
The Gibbon issue, did you read that?
That was great. Yeah.
The Gibbon is
almost cried at the end.
Is a Z-level character, right? A Z-level garbage Spider-Man character. In one issue, they repair any jokiness of him, and at the end, you're literally like, God damn. The Gibbon. I'm a Spider-Man fan.
The Gibbon.
That's a cool book.
The poor Gibbon.
Yep. Savage Avengers. I've read the first 2 issues of this.
I'm starting that. Yep.
Why are they so savage?
Oh, because they're a bunch of savage
Look at 'em.
characters.
You got Venom,
Venom.
The Punisher, Wolverine, Elektra.
Who's that, Lloyd?
I forget his name. Something Voodoo.
Brother
Brother
Voodoo.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're. I don't know why it's called Avengers. To be honest with you, they're not a team.
Why is Conan in it?
I wondered the same thing. Apparently, in the Avengers.
And why is he working with sorcerers?
No Road Home. It's off the shelf.
Avengers No Road Home miniseries. Somehow Conan comes through.
Yes.
And he gets stuck in the Savage Land.
I think it's the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. So basically, the idea of this is
Scarlet Witch.
Kulath Than. Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah. He's sacrificing all these beings, and trying to resurrect this blood god, and it's a whole thing.
It's a thing.
Did you read issue 1?
I did.
The ending of issue 1 is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because he brings, they're throwing all these bodies into the blood pool, and they basically.
So not a book for kids.
Yeah, no, I'd say no. Well, here I'll show you. I mean, maybe a book for violent kids.
Right.
I mean,
For violent kids. That's helpful.
Wolverine filled up with knives,
Yeah.
swords, and
Nice.
all kinds
Arrows.
of things. Well, no, I
Walk it off. A flesh wound.
Walk it off. Wolverine.
I
Walk
picked
it
that
off.
up here on Free Comic Book Day. I had no expectations for it. I've enjoyed the first 2
Yeah.
issues, and it's Mike Diodato art.
Did-
And it's the last Mike Diodato art in Marvel. He's gone. He is moving on to Image, I think, and doing creator-owned stuff.
Did you read the Avengers book from Free Comic Book Day?
Yes, because it is and actually, I read it after. The first half of it is a story that works into the regular Avengers book, which is this, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then the second is it explains how we
Savage.
get into the Savage stuff.
I think it's got Elektra in that one.
Yeah, that's
the
how
Free
Electra
Comic
comes
Book
into
Day.
it. Yep. Dan, you read any of this stuff, or you read any good Marvel stuff?
I read some of Savage Sword of Conan. That was really
Yeah.
good.
Koga Thune.
Koga Thune.
Not completely caught up,
And
but that is a beautiful
let's
book.
not take a minute not to point out our friend Ron Garney art right here,
Beautiful.
and not just because we kind of know the guy, not because he's been on the show, but he's pretty
That was his.
friggin'
that
sick.
was his final issue on the series.
His final issue, it comes back. I don't know who's writing it, but oh geez, I'll think of his name in a minute. Luke Ross is
Yeah.
taking over art, who's another fantastic
It's
artist.
really reminiscent of old Conan.
Yeah, it's just
Didn't
brutal.
Luke Ross do that Captain America
Yeah.
for you? Yeah, like years ago.
Yep. So Savage Sword, I've been reading. That has been really cool.
How about Immortal Hulk?
And
Conan, Immortal Hulk. Yeah, look at this.
That's crazy.
Alex Ross
Is
covers.
that by Beast?
That's Abomination.
Yeah, but how come he has multiple faces?
Yeah, get to it.
Oh.
This is another one. Al Ewing, who is a longtime 2000 AD writer. He's done some Avengers stuff. This book is awesome. Look at this. Look at the Joe Bennett art, man. Are you reading this?
no,
This is you're
Joe
sleeping.
Bennett?
I don't.
Joe
read that.
Bennett.
Really?
Yeah.
Joe, dude, look at this art, John. This is
I like Joe Bennett.
he's clean,
Yeah.
and there is an issue
The
halfway through
the
this.
greens are striking in the book, man.
Did you read the issue where the Hulk gets cut up and put in all the jars?
Oh, that was like 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just what they did was
Spoilers.
Yeah, thanks.
they have the Immortal Hulk is not just a funny kind of title. It actually plays into the book. The Hulk is, and I didn't realize this. I was reading about it. In the original Hulk run, I guess he could only turn to the Hulk at night for a very short period of time. We
Well,
all
he was
know
gray, right?
he was
Way
gray
back
for
in
only
the-
one issue. Then he went to green. But I guess part of it was he only turned to the Hulk at night for a while. That's what's happening here. Bruce Banner during the day, Hulk at night, every night. And
Oh, I thought it was when he died.
when he dies, yes.
Right.
Right. So, and if Banner tries to kill himself, Hulk wakes up,
Reanimates.
reanimates. It doesn't matter. This has been a really cool book.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, that's very cool. New Daredevil, Chip
Yeah.
Zdarsky. I have not started this yet.
It's all right.
These are cool, right? What are these called,
I
Dan?
read that.
Facsimile edition.
Facsimile edition. So, look at that. John Byrne, Alpha Flight number 1 from probably 1983.
It's your favorite character right on the cover, John.
It's got all the old ads.
Puck. Now, Lloyd. Name everybody in
these
Alpha
guys.
Flight.
Yeah. Good luck.
I don't remember any. Shit, I forget.
All right, I'm gonna get. All right,
Who was in Immortal Hulk? Sasquatch.
Spider-Man,
Sasquatch, that's it.
Cyclops, Marina.
Okay.
She's like a fish chick. Puck. He is a small dude.
Oh, I know. Maple Leaf guy.
No. 2 names. Vindicator, or
Vindicator,
Guardian.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sasquatch. Snowbird.
Yeah.
Aurora.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
North Star.
Right. They're twins.
They're twins, and is he the first like big book gay character ever?
No.
It wasn't back then, but they
He
eventually
was the first Marvel game,
Marvel gay character. Let's
which
see.
was a big deal, and only because they named him gay, and no one cared because no one knew who he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, right.
He also always looked to me like a Vulcan, right? Because he has the
Yeah,
ears and
they're
everything.
both of them, dude. I think they're it's later on in the Alpha Flight series. You learn that they're not
Shaman.
human, you know, that kind of thing.
Shaman, right?
Yeah,
So
shaman.
there we go. But what they're doing is they're putting these issues out that are key issues that people
John Byrne.
might love. John Byrne. The only difference is today's prices. But
Yeah.
we got Defenders number 1, right? Hulk 181. What's this? Lloyd, you know what Hulk 181 is?
First appearance of Wolverine.
First full appearance of Wolverine.
Full appearance, all right.
First appearance is 180. He's in one panel in a shadow.
Cameo, yeah.
All right. So,
And it's with the ads and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a complete.
yeah, Frogger. Right? Look at that. Who didn't play Frogger?
Kids are gonna be like, "Where can I get my
Look at that.
Frogger?"
George Costanza played for
Yeah, that's right. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for Intellivision. I remember this ad.
I remember that ad.
Yeah. Holy shit. The Power Man yell. Because they didn't just have this one. They had an Iron Fist one, too. Where Iron Fist was yelling at you about
and
buying
the
this
art
book.
was just incredible.
Yeah.
I bought all these, by the way,
Should ask
myself.
somebody.
Oh, here's a little joke, Dan, too. So you got Iron Man, or I'm sorry, Power Man, and he's telling you the Fist tell you nice, but he ain't here. So listen good. Either you come looking for me and the Fist, or I'll come looking for you, and that can get real ugly. Every month at newsstands and specialty shops, everywhere, ask for Power Man and Iron Fist, and bring 60 cents. 60 cents, kids. 1980
Alpha
something.
Flight, around 84, 85.
83, I think.
So Power Man and Iron Fist lasted another year, maybe two
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
So then Dan has all of these, which are very cool. We picked a bunch of these up for Free Comic Book Day to give out to
Pull out the Power Pack.
the kids. Yeah, let's pull out Power Pack. Where is it? Right here.
I'll show you why I want to show this off.
All right, now these characters I cannot name at all. Rainbow
Yeah,
Girl,
yeah,
Cloud Boy,
I don't even remember.
Pajama Boy, and I actually do.
What was a family name?
Don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't
Don't even remember. I actually had this book. June Brigman is the artist who draws Captain Ginger for Ahoy.
Well, I wanted you to bring it out.
Yep. And, geez, yeah, you know, I think later in this series, Franklin Richards ends up joining.
He does.
He does. And I'm pretty sure I recently heard that they're talking about doing this as a show. Maybe on Hulu or something.
There was some talk of that.
The streaming service.
This was a book that, as a kid,
Disney Plus.
when I read books
Yeah.
and I would read anything, I couldn't even get interested in this then. Is that a magical fucking space horse? Look at that.
Oh yeah, one of the kids can communicate with that creature. I think is what happened. I don't remember.
It's Beta Ray Jim, everybody.
Power
The
Pack
lesser
wasn't
known.
a thing.
It's Beta Ray Jim.
I don't know.
But yeah, these Marvel greatest, these are all $1.
Oh, there you go.
And
Here's you go.
We were just talking about.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Craven's Last Hunt. All right. This is
One
a
of the issues.
fantastic series. Mike Zeck and written by Jan DeMatteis. And there you go right there. That's a famous cover of it as well. Craven the Hunter decides that he's fed up with Spider-Man and he's going to kill him. And spoiler alert,
There's
he
more than that.
buries him alive. Yeah.
Available.
There's a reason it's Last Hunt.
That's right, yeah. He's not doing too well.
Yeah.
So I'll put these back in a second. Anything else for Vader, Dark Visions. This is a 5-issue miniseries. This is issue 5. I have not read issue 5 yet, but this series written by Dennis Hopeless. Every issue is a different person dealing with Darth Vader in some way, shape, or form. Issue 4 is a Imperial Star Destroyer commander who accidentally lets a rebel go, and Vader's like basically like, I'm coming to pick that rebel up, and now he's like trying to find the rebel because he knows what's going to happen. He has a flashback to how he got his post, was the guy who was in charge of him screwed up. Vader kills him and says, "You're the commander now." And the whole issue is him just shitting his pants. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well. But they did a couple different ones. There was one with a girl who is obsessed with Vader. She works on a Star Destroyer as well.
Does she call herself Padme?
She does not. She does not. And this one, I don't know. I'll read it and find out. That's a pretty cool.
She wears all ripped half shirts.
Pretty cool.
Where's Padme? She died of a broken heart. Oh, for fuck's sake.
So stupid. All right, Lloyd, what are you reading in this pile
She
here?
lost the will to live.
Nothing over here.
Nothing here. Dan, anything over
Oh,
here?
actually, yeah, up here you got the Goon. I read the Goon.
Eric Powell?
Eric
Yep.
Powell, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Really cool. I love the Eric Powell stuff. As a matter of fact, there's a new book coming out, The Art of Eric Powell.
Oh, really?
It's in this month's preview. It's $50.
$50.
Yeah, a little too much for me, but.
I mean, we got War of the Realms, number 5, which is out, and then Wolverine: The Long Night.
This is cool. I'm not
After
reading this.
podcast,
This
yeah.
is big. They did an original. Marvel did an original audio podcast,
Right,
storytelling podcast called Wolverine: The Long Night. Simply like an audio book, and this is the comic book adaptation of it. I was actually curious about that. I may still
listened to it for about 10 minutes and then I stopped.
Yeah. I've honestly never. I have no commute, so like audiobooks are not really a thing for me.
Yeah.
But I've always thought like, because I don't read as much as I used to in terms of novels, and I would love to. Oh, here we go. This is a big thing happening in comics right now. Jonathan Hickman, who left Marvel for a while to go do Image stuff, East of West, and all that stuff.
All the stuff he doesn't finish.
Coming back, yeah, that's his reputation. Coming back, they're canceling every X-Men book, and they're just doing these 2 books, House of X and Powers of X, and it's supposed to be I guess like a new jumping on point, a new start to all this.
4 to 5 years he's going to be doing it, right?
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of creators pissed off because, as you said, I think Rob Liefeld has a book,
Major X,
and they're canning it all to start over with this stuff. I myself am not reading.
And then new movies.
Yeah. Squirrel Girl. Is that Art Germ? Is that an Art Germ variant? No. Okay. This is important to us. The pint right here, right? Ahoy. Okay, so we got Bronze Age Boogie number 3.
Ahoy, mateys.
Written by our buddy Stuart Moore. Hashtag Danger. Tom Payer, the EIC over there.
Really like
and
that book.
Planet of the Nerds, Constant. I'm not sure what his first name is. Let's look at it. Let's give the guy credit where credit is due. Paul Constant. And Alan Robinson is the artist. Right now, I read the first issue of Bronze Age Boogie. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next 2. It was definitely kind of I don't want to say confusing read, but it's definitely, I think you have to get past the first issue to see what's going on.
There's been a time travel going on.
Hashtag Danger, I have not started yet. Lou is a big fan.
I like it.
Enjoying it.
Yeah.
Planet of the Nerds.
It's basically the Fantastic Four were just like human pieces of garbage and got nothing
Bad people.
done. Yeah.
Shitty people.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
a little bit of the Fantastic Four, a little bit of the Challengers of the Unknown, and a little bit of Blackhawks, all thrown into it.
They're just a bunch of people who don't really like each other.
And we will say, some people may have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. So you got the cover art there, kind of a painted style, almost, photorealistic. The book is not. The book is very cartoony. I have no problem with that. Look how colorful that is. This is actually.
That's really bright.
It's very bright. That's like that. I'm going to use the word that pops.
It pops.
I really do.
It's fun to read, I tell you.
Yeah, I like it.
I do not know anything about this property, except for when I was like 18 and before I got my first real job, I'd watch episodes of the first season. But I keep hearing that the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book is really good. Again, I don't, maybe it's only really good if you're a fan, but I keep hearing people talk about this book.
The Shattered Grid run was...
The Shattered Grid, right, because this is Beyond the Grid.
Right, yep.
And I think...
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look at the art's not... That's a
art's
Zord, I think they call that. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, and there's there 2 books? Are they doing that with this
Go
too?
Power Rangers.
Oh, so you got Go Power Rangers as well. So if
Boom
you're a fan-
Comics.
Boom! We do know you're a fan of this, right, Lloyd?
Yeah, I'm a fan of that Black Hammer. That's the last one of that issue. That's That's World War II Black Hammer stuff.
And Black Hammer is what? What is Black Hammer?
Jeez. Black Hammer is a bunch of superheroes that are trapped in another dimension, which really, I don't want to give away too much, so I won't say anything more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Abraham Slam, Dragonfly Lady.
Abraham Slam's a badass name.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Good.
I might read that book based
And
on
then
that name.
the Black Hammer.
Also sounds like a President's Day breakfast special at Denny's.
It does.
The
It does.
Abraham Slam.
This weekend in February, come on down to Denny's for the Abraham Slam.
4 pancakes,
that's a
4
gay alien.
slices of
4 pancakes.
Wait, who's the gay
3
alien?
sausages.
Barbalian.
Barbalian.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you got another one, Talkie Walkie, and Colonel Weird.
Colonel Weird. Okay.
And they're about to cross over with the Justice League.
Yes,
That's right. When does that happen, Dan?
I think next month is
July.
the first
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, July. Yep.
All right.
It's Jeff Lemire.
Yes.
Yes.
Jeff Lemire writes it all. He doesn't draw any of it. He's got different artists on all the different books.
And there will
Dark
be
Horse, man. Dark Horse.
Yeah. Dark Horse is an awesome company.
You got a Hellboy Lobster Johnson.
Hellboy Lobster Johnson special.
Versus.
Mike Mignola, Chris Robertson, Mike Norton, Dave Stewart. Black and white. Some of Hellboy's adventures when he was in Mexico for a while. Great. That's awesome stuff.
Here's a great book from Aftershock Comics, A Walk Through Hell, written by Garth Ennis.
I got the trade for that. I read the first issue, and I was too tired that night, and I went, I have to.
It just pulls you right in. As soon as you read that first
but it was
issue.
like, I got to go back and reread this.
Yeah,
but
look at this. This really happened to the book. These two bodies intertwined. It's an FBI story. Some weird shit happens in this warehouse. People go in, they come out, and then they all kill themselves. You don't know what's going on. It's a weird, convoluted story.
Yeah, that's how the
gotta
first
read
issue
it.
ended.
Sounds a lot like Fringe.
If you like Garth Ennis,
No, it's not
you
like
gotta check
Fringe.
it
Yeah, the SWAT team.
Well, I
That's
mean,
how the
his description made
yeah.
it sound like Fringe.
that's how the
definitely
first
not
issue
like
ends. Is the SWAT team comes out,
Yeah.
go in the van, and all at once blow their heads off, and the two main Fed agents that
the
are
two
like
agents
sent there
that
to
are
investigate are
investigating.
just like, what just happened? So yeah, Garth Ennis too. I mean, I don't know. I know you like him, John. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
That is my current favorite Ennis book that he's written in the last 20 years.
Really.
yeah, it's really
Really?
good.
He's fantastic. Okay, so Aliens Resistance, Brian Wood. I've been enjoying this. The series before this, Aliens Defiance, was really good. This one isn't as good necessarily, but I'm an Alien Predator guy, so I'm enjoying that. Then we get to the end, right off the bat. John's a Transformers fan. Look at this. If you get issue 7 of Transformers, the IDW series, boom, you get yourself a booster pack of the Transformer game, which John has a copy of.
Boom.
You get 1 foil
2.
Transformer character card plus 7 battle cards. I don't know if you know the answer to this. Boom, 2, by the way. Do you know the answer? Are these cards all packed the same? Or could you buy 5 issues and get all different cards? Or not sure?
I do not know.
So the only way you're going to find out
I can tell you
is
that.
come down to 1475 Meriden Waterbury Turnpike, Boom Tube Comics, Southington, Connecticut. Buy 5 or 6 copies from Dan. He won't stop you. And if they're all the same, don't try to return them.
Zorro.
American Mythology Productions.
the
We've heard this name
The
before.
Casper people.
Doug Paskevich, Casper. They're doing a Zorro series. I thought Zorro was Dynamite. Maybe it slipped.
Zorro is.
They've done the last couple
public
books.
domain.
Public domain.
Oh, is that the answer to the question you guys were asking on the radio show?
As
Like
far
how
as-
they were managing the licensing?
well,
It
I know
depends
these.
on who
You know
it
these?
is.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like, it depends on the character.
Right.
I don't know which character you're asking about. So.
Well, Zorro in particular.
Well,
because
Zorro,
they're
yeah,
public domain.
Zorro's got to be one of those lovely public domain characters that they can do anything with. So,
We could write a Zorro comic book.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, I want to point this out just for the movie fans out there. 1998's Mask of Zorro with Antonio Banderas is a pretty fucking good movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good.
That's
Yeah, I enjoyed sword fighting. It was awesome.
The sequel's okay, right? Not as good, but that's a movie people sleep on. There's a lot.
It's too
I
bad.
never saw that.
It's-
Never saw it. Check
No.
it out.
No, it's
All right.
good.
Good adventure
I'll
movie.
tell you
Anthony
why.
Hopkins.
Yeah, it's Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, really?
Really sells it.
Yes,
Okay.
he's the original Zorro.
Yeah.
And Antonio Banderas is like a.
Long-haired Anthony Hopkins.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
that.
he's kind of got longish hair. Yeah. And I
been a
think
while
ponytail
since
at one point.
Maybe. Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones at the peak of her hotness.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones in The
Yeah.
Phantom was hot, and then Catherine
And
Zeta-Jones
she's
now is
no
still hot.
slouch.
No.
Peak of her hotness.
And I mean,
Phantom.
she's no slouch. She could fight.
In the sword fight.
Yeah, yeah, in a dress too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is all part of the Zorro mythos. So it's just they ramped it up. It's a good movie that gets overlooked.
Yeah.
I will check it out.
I will let you borrow it. I own a copy.
you got
of
it? All
Yeah.
right.
Lloyd, you were talking
real
more
quick,
Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, more Jeff Lemire, one of my favorite creators. This is a follow-up to Descender. Descender ran for, I'll say 20 issues. I'm not sure about the number. It's a rise, the robots. So that series ended. There was a little hiatus. This is the rise of the robots afterwards. What else here?
I don't read it
Oh,
anymore, but
Jonathan.
Die.
Yeah.
I will point out that I think I don't know how many they do, but now
Different
see
covers for
the
each one.
covers. A lot of the covers now I picked a wrong one, but a lot of the covers have different word bubbles that say different things. So if you're checking this book out,
Yeah.
check. I mean, this one here I picked 2 that have the same thing, but there's nothing on this one. This one has something, and then you'll see the next one will say something totally different. I'm sure there's probably like 6 or 7 variants.
Right.
It's just a cool little thing.
So I don't know, when is this wrapping up, Dan? Do you know, or got canceled?
The last issue, I forget, I think it was 44 might have gotten
All right.
canceled on.
Once
the-
again, Jonathan
Diamond
Hickman,
List.
a long-running series for Image, and now that he's working on the House of X for Marvel, it's all canceled. That's what I heard.
Do you enjoy that book?
I do. I love that book.
Is that due to a contract though?
I don't know.
Very possible.
All I know is almost everything I
Don't
read
piss
by
on the guy
Jonathan
until you know
Hickman
the
gets
truth.
canceled.
You know?
Yeah, it's getting canceled. Yeah.
This book here, Farmhand, by Rob Guillory, the artist from Chew. Chew, written by John Layman.
John Layman. Yeah.
This is a great book.
That's a staggering cool
This
cover.
is awesome. The story behind it is there's a guy. He's got a farm, and he discovered that he can grow human limbs. Any human body part, as a matter of fact.
God, give me a new shoulder, please.
You go to this guy, he will give you a new shoulder, but there's always
a price.
There's a price for it.
Yeah.
So here's
I'll
a
pay
guy,
the price. I don't
here's a
care.
guy who was blind. He got new eyes in the epilogue. It's set up a lot like Chew, where you get a cool little prologue. You get a little story for a prologue. You know, this guy's blind. He gives him some eyeballs that look like flowers here, and he's so happy to see. And then, of course, there's some terrible thing that happens later.
I wanted to pick this up and I didn't.
And then you got an epilogue.
Flower.
This is a great. When Chew ended, these two guys split up and did their own separate things. And I think Rob Guillory's I'm enjoying much better than what John Lehman's done.
And he writes that too, right?
He writes it and draws it.
Right.
It's
Because
all
he only
about
drew
Guillory.
Chew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another Jeff Lemire book, Gideon Falls.
That guy's fucking busy.
He is busy.
And he writes for Marvel, right?
Yep.
Stuff too as well.
Yep.
I've never read it, but Monstrous didn't this win like the this one last year shit, what the hell is that called?
Eisner.
Was it the Eisner?
Yeah, this tied, I think,
Beautiful.
with
artwork.
Mr. Miracle for the the artwork is incredible in this. I'm always amazed
Yeah, and you know what?
by artists that can convey light. That looks like it's like lit up,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember?
And everybody who picks it up is just amazed.
You remember going to the? Oh, you weren't there with me. I went when I went to the New York Comic Con. Her table had nobody at it,
Really?
and this was after she was announced as getting the nomination.
Really?
That's a
Yeah.
good book.
Nobody, not a
didn't
soul.
stick with it.
Wow.
She's a beautiful woman as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Should we talk about Walking Dead?
I haven't read it. I don't want to hear about it.
All right. This is not the recent issue. You probably can't even get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with, without you looking at me and saying it, I'm going to assume
not
Rick
saying
is dead
anything.
at this point.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
about
say
10
anything.
issues behind.
You should have been dead what, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, that is kind of what's out now, right?
Yeah.
And
But
unnatural. Some
more.
naked pig girl stuff. If you like that.
if you're into that sort of
if
thing,
you like naked pig girls,
Probably goes
you'll
really
get
well with
that.
Farmhand.
yeah, farmhand and naked pig
Farmhand
girl.
and naked
Well,
pig girl.
Sounds like a fun
That's what
Friday
you need
night.
the eyes for.
Naked pig girl
Yeah.
gets it on with Wolf Boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. There's some nice little pig.
Yeah.
Hey, let's nerd out
Pigtail.
on this book.
See a nice little pigtail.
Oh, she's got a little
Careful,
squiggly
yeah.
pigtail. So we're here at BoomTube Comics. We'll do this every once in a while. Come down, go through some books.
Sure.
I
Talk
think
about
we
what's
just.
new. Now, I just want to ask Dan a couple questions.
Yes.
So right now we're in June of 2019.
Yes.
Okay, what would you say right now are the 3 hottest books that you're selling right now that people are coming in for in the last couple weeks? They're saying
Issues or titles?
we'll do both.
Okay.
3 hottest titles you've been selling over the last maybe month or so, and what issues are people coming in that? Well, I would almost say Walking Dead might be the answer there.
Walking Dead's a huge issue.
So Walking Dead issue you're sold out of.
Yep.
People are coming in for that daily. What else are issues are people coming in for?
The Last Night on Earth.
That's
Snyder
the
Capullo.
Snyder Capullo
Yep.
last thing they're doing for Batman.
Yep.
Yep.
And the third biggest issue, probably Deceased. Deceased is moving pretty well.
Is that
as
moving?
well. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Now the hottest titles, Immortal Hulk is always hot.
That's awesome.
I'm
That book
definitely
is
gonna
so
have to look
fucking
into
good.
that.
Always hot. People come in just looking for that book.
You sold me on that book, as a matter of fact. I came in here one day. You told me it was great,
Yeah.
and I think you actually had the first issue, which I couldn't find.
Yes.
And I grabbed them and I read like the first 5 in one night, and you're absolutely right.
One book we didn't talk about, which I think is on hiatus right
Die.
now until the second volume, is Die. That's been hot when it was new. It's on like 4th or 5th printing.
Lou picked up the trade, right? The trade came out this
Yep,
week.
yep.
It's a story about a bunch of role-playing, like a role-playing crew as their kids who get sucked into their game, and then they eventually get popped back out, but someone's dead. They're obviously all changed.
Yep.
It's written by Kieran Gillen, who did Darth Vader for Marvel for a long time. He's doing Star Wars right now, and he's done other
He does
indie
Wicked
stuff.
and Divine.
Wicked and Divine. I
for
couldn't think of
Image.
the name of the book. Yeah. And it looks like some pretty cool art too. We'll have maybe Lou will do a review on that for us. So, Immortal Hulk. What else? And Die. What else? Anything else that you're really like hot on right now? People looking for? Have you had a book that like as soon as it came in, you had a day where everybody's calling you going, "Do you have this issue?" Was that like the new Walking Dead?
Yeah, that for sure. The Last Night on Earth was just exploded. I mean,
I can vouch for that because I was here on a Wednesday. You had a stack of them. I was like, oh, maybe I'll grab one next week. I came like the next, like less than a week later, and I'm like, where's? And you're like gone.
Yeah.
Like you were like they're gone that day.
People were coming from all over for it. Yep. The Silver Surfer book is really hot this
Yeah,
week.
you had like 4 covers the other day, and you're down to 1 now. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So
What was your biggest surprise hit where you're reordering and reordering and reordering?
Well, that's good.
Die.
Really?
Die. I mean, I have a ton on there because I ordered all the reprintings because everybody who comes in wants to get them all. And I've ordered it, every printing I've ordered some.
D&D is hot, baby.
Yeah, it's very hot. Yeah, that's why.
You also have those cool rolled and told over there too.
Yeah, those are
neat.
monthly adventures that you can take
Right.
and then DM a whole adventure with it.
If you're into 5th edition.
Now,
Which apparently is a problem.
we don't have comics, BoomTube Comics.
And I'm thinking we just accomplished the first ever video podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'm like, this is literally what this is and how it's going to go up as a video podcast.
There you go.
There you go.
So what do we say at the end of every podcast?
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.